Good morning. It is a beautiful sunny Saturday morning on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. And I just finished my workout, so I might be a little red-faced. This is a class that I used to go to religiously every Saturday morning. It's a step class. I don't know if anybody does step classes anymore, or step aerobics. It always just made my soul, my spirit sing. I love taking that class. The guy who teaches it is a drill sergeant, but somehow I really shine in those situations. I fell off because I had a child, I moved around. I haven't had the motivation, but I love the class. It's not like I'm uninspired to go. It's just I couldn't get myself there. I work out, but this class is particularly intense, which is why I'm all red-faced right now. And it takes like that extra push for me to go. But then I get there and I love it, and it's like the best class ever. So why can't I motivate myself to go to something I'm already inspired to do? Now, I recently read an article, I have it here on my screen, and I want to read the quote for you. I recently read an article that talked about motivation versus inspiration. And she said, when inspiration is still present, you're naturally motivated and can achieve all things required. The soul is the giver of inspiration, and it permeates everything you do. There is an ease and effortless flow. Things feel good and right. However, we tend to forget things are not permanent, and we believe it will last forever. So when inspiration is gone, we resort to using our will to motivate ourselves. Now, I read that, and I just don't think it's that simple, and I want to give you 3 reasons why. Number 1, sometimes what inspires us often gets us caught up in our own ego projections. So when that falls by the wayside, we tend to be confronted with our own fears, like our projections. So just for example, we've all fallen in love or infatuation at first sight at some point, haven't we? We really feel inspired to do all kinds of ridiculous things that on any other day we would think were just absolutely insane, right? But then give that like 3 days, 4 weeks, a few months, and suddenly the shine on that new penny wears off, doesn't it? And then you have to make a real decision about where you're gonna allocate your motivation. So without the gleam of that projection, is this person and your relationship to them valuable to you? Was there learning to be had? Is there learning to be had? When the going gets tough, do you just give up? What about the joy that your soul experiences in the form of intimacy, which can only be forged in the fire? And you need real motivation to make something like a healthy relationship work, for example, even if at times you feel less than inspired. So I don't think it's just that simple. Secondly, there's an expression that failure is a lesson learned and success is a lesson applied, which suggests that we don't start from a place of effortless flow, do we? And if we did, how successful could we really be if we never allowed ourselves to fail? What if your soul inspired you to reach this painful precipice, and motivation is the only thing that allows you to keep going after you've fallen flat on your face? What if the effortless flow is more like a downhill coast, and you had to climb up there to get there in the first place, didn't you? Your soul just can't do all the legwork. You are in this body, you are on this planet, you are reliant on material, ego-based systems and forms for a reason. Maybe it's a bunch of reasons. Maybe that reason changes every 7, 10, 20 years. And sure, you have to be attuned and awake enough to recognize that shift. But when you do, it's the ego that has to pick up the slack. The soul only whispers its directions, right? It's the ego's job, your conscious self's job, to listen and put that into action. Now, the relationship between motivation and inspiration is like a marriage. It's a dance. It's the congress between heaven and earth that goes on inside each and every one of us, okay? To become sovereign within yourself and the material world is to follow the same rules that make for a happy marriage and relationship, which I will cover in another video. I need to update my videos on attachment, so we're definitely gonna get into that. But thirdly, I also don't believe that motivation is strictly of the ego. It's just life force energy, okay? Psychologists have studied motivation a million times over, and they believe it comes from all sorts of places, right? Sex, conflict, anxiety, but most essentially either a fear of death or a desire to live and thrive, okay? But your soul doesn't fear death. and it's not constrained by what we perceive to be living, okay? So there are aspects of the human experience that go beyond the avoidance of pain and the acquisition of pleasure, like curiosity, like true selflessness, like empathy, like a need to express ourselves regardless of the outcome. And so it's really easy to be inspired. And if you don't believe me, just type in inspirational videos into YouTube and have a ball. And actually, I think that's kind of a good idea. I'm gonna go do that after I finish making this video. Following up on inspiration, that requires motivation. And that's the difference between, hitting the snooze button or throwing off the covers and getting up and meeting the day, knowing that that one simple decision can change your trajectory for the rest of that day, the rest of that week, the rest of that year, maybe a decade into the future. So it doesn't have to be this mountainous decision. It's one teeny tiny little decision that you can make on a Saturday morning just like this. Don't fret over the differences between inspiration and motivation. Instead, ask yourself, are you inspired by or motivated by fear? And if your inspiration is merely a projected response to fear. So if you're interested in learning more about how this applies to skyrocketing your career and practice as a therapist and healer, and how to make important emotional and motivational shifts to bringing healthy relationships, clients, and cash flow into your life, first of all, if you haven't already, join my private Facebook group where we have a roaring good time. And secondly, I'd like you to sign up for the free webinar where I'm going to give you juicy, rich content on how to change your mindset, master online marketing, expand your client base, incorporate psycho-spiritualism into your work, and diversify your business. We are going to skyrocket you and your career where you are motivated and inspired on a daily basis. Yes! So join the group if you haven't joined the group, sign up for the webinar, come meet with me, ask some questions, let's have a conversation, get out there, do what inspires you.